All right, let's start preparing for having video card available. So I'm gonna go ahead and make a new Livewire, and I'm gonna call this video card. So let's head into our video card, and for now, I'm just gonna lay out some basic outlining here. So we want to just have a div here, and in here we want to have a column span of 4, and then we want to use the X card, which is a part of the MaryUI, and we want to use X slot figure. And in here, we want to put in the video player essentially and automatically play it. So we do not need any specific video player here, so there's no reason to do that. So we'll just have video player in here. I'm gonna also make sure we have the format, but quite crucially, before we start adding this in, we need to make sure we iterate through our video formats, which we will add in a minute where we'll add the relationship. So we'll just call this format file path and format quality. And outside of that, I'm gonna leave this for now as it is. I'm not gonna do anything more here. I'm gonna go into the video card here, and I'm gonna make a public video. And then what we want to do is we also want to make sure inside our home.blade.php that we have these cards here. So we want to also make sure this is column, using a column here. So I'm gonna go ahead and copy some code as well here, just to make sure that it looks quite nice. So inside a home controller, we want to create a function here where we're gonna get all the videos. So let's make sure we can do that properly. And for this one, we will just say videos and then get all the videos for now. We will find out a better way to do this with some infinitive scroll later on potentially. And just pass in the videos here. So with that sorted, we're now able to access it here. We'll be able to lazy load this. We're able to iterate it through here, and let's take a look what we have. Make sure you run npm run dev as well. So right now we have a malform for each statement. So let's go ahead and take a look at that. So we have for each video formats as format, of course. And we're having this card here. I'm also going to go ahead and do some other styling here. We're going to work on the video autoplaying function as well. So let's make a div with a space y of 2. And then make a flex with a justify between. We want to have item center. Then we want to have one here where we say div flex grow 1. And we want to have a width of 150 pixels. And then here we just want to have an anchor tag with a wire navigate specified. For now, we will leave the anchor tag empty because we don't have any video pages. And in here, we just want to have an image with the user profile for picture. There we go. So far so good. And then outside of here, we want to have an anchor tag. This will lead to the YouTube channel, by the way. So in this anchor tag, again, we don't have ability to view videos yet. We will make sure that it also has wire navigate. And let's just go ahead and make sure that we have a couple of classes in here where we say flex column space y 1.5. We want to make sure that we have a h2 here with a text to Excel, and we want to wrap it. Then we just want to have the video title. And you can see we now have the video title as this test. We then also want to make sure that we have a div in here where we just have a video username. We want to have this one here to separate it. And the views functionality we will add in a little bit later, so I will just leave this for now as 2K. And outside of that, I'm just going to go ahead into the database. I'm going to edit this title to be a bit longer. This is my first YouTube video. And there we go. So we now have this neatly styled one here, and then we want to make sure inside our video component that we have the video with an xref for player. In the top here, we want to make sure xData playing set to false. Also, where we have this xref for player, we want to make sure inside the video one here that we have a few other things specified. We want to have mouse enter, and in this case, we just want to say playing equals to true. And then we want to say refs dot player equals play. Then we want to have another one here saying mouse leave playing equals false, refs dot player equals false, refs dot player dot current time set to 0. We want to make sure that this have an ID of player. We want to make sure that this has the poster here, specified as video thumbnail path. And lastly, I'm just going to make sure we are checking here in case this is empty that we're not breaking the application. So just make sure you have these. So we have an empty string instead. There we go. So other than that, I also want to make sure that inside here we have a couple of other things. We need to make sure that the URL is correct. So let's just check here. So we have this public exports, and inside a database, video formats is stored here as 360p. So let's copy the link for this and see what's going on here. So we aren't able to play the video, but if we just make sure we have the environmental settings set correctly, make sure your PHP artisan storage link set on. That's already done, good. And then in here, let's just make sure we also have the file. So we have this file here. It says ending in 360.mp4. So we have this file. Can we access it if we just copy the name? Of course we can't, because this won't work because we are specifying exports was already in here. So I think all we need to do is just remove the export there. And there we go. And now you can see it's playing here, which is perfect. The only other thing we want to make sure is that we mute this and we want to put this on a loop. And that is how we get this interesting effect here where it actually starts playing the video. So that's all for this video. Thank you very much for watching it, and I'll see you in the next tutorial.